Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Timing pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Go, Woodward Sports. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're with us. Join us on the chat. We are going to be talking a little pregame for Tigers baseball. We are going to talk Braylon Edwards, top 5 wide receivers, and why a certain person, I believe, belongs in the College Football Hall of Fame. Glad you're with us here on Woodward Sports. Ryan is here, Kool-Aid is here, and of course, the man who went to Game 3 last night, did not provide a lucky charm, but did enjoy people's company anyway, Braylon Edwards.
You know, you bring up a good point. I did get a chance, and good day to you, Shep, Ryan, Kool-Aid. Good day to the chat out there.
What
we
up,
appreciate
though?
you guys for rocking and rolling with us today. It's going to be a great show, as Shep said. But you alluded to being a lucky charm. I don't think I'm that for the Detroit Tigers when they play against the Seattle Mariners. First and foremost, I have a bone to pick with the Detroit Tigers. Dear Detroit Tigers organization, franchise, to whom it may concern, when you know that you are going to have a rain delay, okay, and you know the rain delay is going to be past an hour, 100% you knew this rain delay was not going to start before it's 7:20 o'clock. You knew this. But what you did was you trapped all the excited fans downtown just so you can keep the energy around your ball club, which I get, but it's still BS. You kept us down there. You trapped us down there until 7 o'clock. They didn't even announce that it was going to be 7 till around 6:45. That's when they announced that it was going to be 7 to the people that weren't around. So, Tigers, BS on you. Like, BS on you. Like, it was raining. It was cold. It was long. It was a 3-hour rain delay. That's absurd. Like, I understand you want the bars, the restaurants to reap the benefits, but you trapped a lot of those people inside Comerica.
Inside the ballpark.
They couldn't even leave.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was not one of those people because I was doing the show with you beautiful individuals in here. So, but shame on you. You got to do better. And I've heard this from multiple fans when I was down there last night. This is not the very first time. The Tigers, this is typically what they do in these situations. I had somebody tell me, in fact, it was Neil Rule.
And yet they keep coming back.
100%. Shout out to Neil Rule, 11-1. Big D
that.
energy. Neil Rule said this is 10 years ago. He went to see the Yankees game, put some money on the game, had season tickets, was going there to have a good time. The rain delay started at 4 and some change. It was supposed to be a 6 o'clock game. They stayed in there till 9, and finally, you know what they told them at 9:15?
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Game's canceled. Right.
See you tomorrow.
Whatever.
So you guys got to do better. Now,
That's just real quick. That's such a great point.
Please.
I don't know if any other ballpark does that. They might, so I don't want to take that shot at the Tigers, but you should allow people to leave and re-enter with their ticket. I mean, if it's their ticket and you're scanning it, why would that be an issue? I'm not an expert on any of these, various machines that scan the tickets, but I would guess Braylon Edwards should be able to, you're there for a 4 o'clock game, it's 3:30.
yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get. You should be allowed to re-enter under those circumstances.
Agreed.
And you should make amends for that if you're an organization, whether it be the Tigers, the Mariners, I don't care. And actually, it helps your city. Go enjoy a downtown meal and then come back. But they want you in the walled gates, so you are eating their food, drinking their beer, and sharing stories with your friends in your seats.
Yes. Now, as it relates to going to see the Seattle Mariners play against the Detroit Tigers, ladies and gentlemen, I will never do it again. Maybe I just won't do it at home, but it just never fares well. Last night, a lot of fun until it wasn't. I went to the Seattle Mariners versus the Detroit Tigers at Michigan and Trumbull. I had to be, I was probably like 13 or so. Love King Griffey Jr. is my favorite player of all time. And one agree. You got not one home run, 2 home runs, and not only did he have 2 home runs, he also robbed a home run that day. You know what? Took it on the chin. I wanted to see the kid do that anyway. Fast forward to 2001, 2002, I go see Seattle Mariners, just so happened to be, and the Tigers again. Ichiro was a grand slam away from a cycle. Grand slam away from a cycle, and guess what? Another L. Earlier this season, I went to see the Seattle Mariners versus the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park.
Just before the All-Star break.
100%. And you guys remember that 7th inning? Oh, no, excuse me, the 8th inning? And also Cal Raleigh had 2 home runs that night. Fast forward to last night.
What are you doing? Why do you keep going?
Because I love the Tigers, and it's a good outing. The city is doing well. The energy was bright. You get to see the Hudson the Hudson building in the background. Like, I'm trying to be immersed in the community.
You can drive by the Hudson building, and still see it.
I'm going to start driving by Comerica Park if they can't get any wins when I'm inside.
I mean, the vibe looks dope, man. I'm looking at your videos up here. Moment as well.
It was good to see the community.
I don't know. I talked to a lot of people. The vibe was not dope.
No, it wasn't.
It was not dope. No. As a matter of fact, it was subdued and almost more than light early on. The build-up may have been great. I'm not sure about, when you're waiting 3 hours, maybe that settles in a little bit and you've had one too many pops, who knows, or maybe one too many Sun Cruiser vodkas, I don't know. But I do believe that as much as the anticipation was there for a home playoff game, it sure didn't feel like it in general. There was a lot of booing and a lot of people sitting on their hands, and for good reason.
Everybody said that the rain delay would help the Tigers, whether we're talking about the locker room or the circumstances for the Seattle Mariners or whatever it is, them coming on the road, blah, blah, blah. BS. Who it really hurt was the Detroit fan base, because it was the energy. So now you already have a bunch of fans coming to this game hoping their team wins, not truly believing in their team. Yeah. But you know what? You get them there early. It's a nice day outside. Jack Flaherty's on the mound, coming in with that good optimism. You're ready to make it happen. You done put your bets in, put your parlays in. It's all right, cool. This thing is going to shake. Tigers go up 2-1. We close out, well, technically today. That's your thoughts at 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Now here comes 4 o'clock. You find out that it's a rain delay. And for the people that are downtown, now what do you do for the next 3 hours is not only do you drink, now every thought or every negative thought or everything you really believe about this team, it sets in for 3 hours. They can't hit with scores and running position. They legitimately can't find any offense. Damn, they couldn't win when Terry School was pitching. Jack Flaherty hasn't been consistent all season. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. They moved Kerry Carpenter to the beginning of the lineup. Yeah, A.J. Hinch told me that was going to work, but is it going to hurt? So now you do 3 hours of drinking and doing this. Now when the game starts,
it's not a recipe for success.
It is morbid energy, because now you got a bunch of pissed off fans that are scared that their team is going to lose, and now they're drunk. So now, legitimately, that was the energy at the park. It was like
so good.
It was quiet. It was not good. And then it's like 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. Can't get any hits. And then finally, Seattle starts to get on the board. Now you're really like, well, there it is.
That's it.
Now it's 8:40. I've been 4 hours and 40 minutes just to see Seattle kick some ass yet again. Another loss that Braylon was a part of.
So Kool-Aid.
That was the energy.
What's the opposite of dope?
It was a dark night.
What's poor Kool-Aid? He goes like, man, the energy was dope, and Braylon just goes boom, boom, boom. No, it wasn't. Nah. What's the opposite of dope?
I'm sitting right now like, you know what? Shout out to the Detroit fans, because Braylon captured it well. They were there to go through all of that and to still be down there. But to hear the way that you put it, like, hey, look, I know they were there.
And
they were mad.
It was not dope.
It was not dope.
And to make the night worse, it wasn't about the Crawford home run. It was not about the Cal Raleigh home run. Who else had a home run? Who else had a home run? Same guy that Dombrowski got rid of for a bag of peanuts.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
A bag of pasta. I mean, that's what he was known as.
Okay, you know, a little bit better. A bag of pasta. Eugenio Suarez comes through with a bomb, and you're just like, wait.
Big
and we
pasta.
had a chance to right the wrong and get him back this season before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And he chose to go to Seattle. So it was just a morbid night in all due respect.
That's
why I'm wearing black.
It's pretty funny because last night, Braylon sends the group, and I say Kool-Aid and Ryan and I and the group. Dave Dombrowski's biggest want back would be Eugenio Suarez. I said, hell yes. Yeah. Big Pasta went 13-12 with a 5 ERA and lasted 1 year. Okay, and Suarez ends up hitting 49 bombs, not once but twice, and he's got over 300.
389 career home runs.
Yeah, he's gonna hit 400 homers in his career.
I didn't even realize that, Shep.
Yeah.
It was legitimately during the broadcast when I went back home. Well, when I got home, because I left early,
Stunner.
It was 1-1, but
Was
to
it
my
really
credit,
early or was it
it was
late?
1-1.
Braylon made it an hour and a half.
Yo, but first of all,
You were there.
Wait a minute.
Hold on,
When you got home, you recognized, or you recognized when I sent you the text?
No, well, I knew when you sent the text, but I went and just looked at all his stats, and I
Gotcha.
paid attention to him
I
over
gotcha.
his career, and you're like, wow, this is a damn good ball player. So, no, I think you guys will give me credit in this regard because the game's supposed to start 4:08. I got down. I was going to be downtown till 6 and go home.
Yeah.
I was downtown till 8:40. So technically,
Shout out, Bray.
Don't blame me.
Hold on.
Don't
Stop with the shout out.
Don't blame me.
Stop with the shout out. Hold on a second. Let me be my dad.
shouting everybody
Hold
out.
on. I'm going to be my dad for a minute. I'm going to be my dad for a minute. All right.
Supposed to be
Here's his favorite saying. When I did something I'm supposed to do,
Right.
raise the flag.
Okay.
Okay. So no kidding. I stayed down till 8:40. Woohoo!
The flag.
Braylon.
Hey.
He was in his pajamas
Yeah.
with his feet up, watching the game on TV at 9:10.
Yeah.
God love him.
Is there ever been a game that you made it fully?
Only when he played.
You know what's funny is no, and to tell you how
It's so funny.
I know is when Michigan finally climbed that ladder, got over that hurdle in 2021. Everybody remembers Hassan Haskins has 5 touchdowns. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tutties. And then now you got the last tutty. Then it's snowing, and everybody stays at the stadium because they haven't beat Ohio State in so long.
I was there.
100%. Like
Yeah.
everybody's doing it. Like it's just this beautiful moment. Do you know that when I got the picture sent to me, because I was already at the house, when I got the infamous picture of Hassan Haskins going over for that 5th touchdown and it's snow falling and people are cheering, a lot of people go on the field. Michigan didn't care that day. They let everybody on the freaking field. I was like, I may have should have stayed.
Yeah.
You should have been on the field.
That's the only one I wish I could have back. 2021, I was on the same Braylon BS. I left early, and I missed that moment.
I'm going to throw myself under the bus. I didn't leave as early as Braylon, but my wife's son and I got out of there as soon as they won because I knew what it was going to be like leaving Houston. That was crazy, but it was a great
The national
experience.
championship?
Yeah.
Oh, I stayed to the end of that.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about the Ohio State game.
Oh, my fault.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Ohio State
I
game.
would have hoped
2021.
you would have been on the field
Yeah.
for the national championship.
National championship, I
Okay.
was all around.
Okay.
Man. I knew so many people there. I was on the concourse level, and then my dad and Warren.
I saw you. You just don't remember. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
That's okay. I'm just breaking bull.
Don't put my business out here,
To
man.
your point, Detroit has left 48 men on base
Yeah.
in the playoffs. They are 13 for 57 with RISP.
Ooh.
They went 7 for 35 in the Cleveland series, 6 for 22 so far in the series against Seattle, helped out by a late surge last night in a 3 for 5 effort. So it is going to be, I hope, the easy thing to do is to be negative.
Right.
And I was negative yesterday because I want this team to be better than
they
where
are.
it is right now. And a lot of people didn't like that, and I don't care. They'll take their shots because of me as a Tigers announcer and talk about how, suddenly he's all brave. No, I said this at the end of 2022. Go look it up. It's
Hey,
plenty
talk about it.
on YouTube. I think the expectation bar has to be risen in this town, not just for the Tigers, but for all teams, okay? But this team, a lot of people have said to me over the last month or so, they're not fun to watch.
Yeah.
I don't care how fun they are to watch. I care about whether they win. Winning is fun, as you know. But
I think
when we see the same stuff over and over again, Braylon, that gets really old for a fan base. And it really creates a difficult challenge for them emotionally because they just don't believe.
Yeah, that's more so what it is. It's just, you're absolutely right. Winning is winning. Like when you get a dub, it doesn't matter we got this because, or this almost happened. No, it didn't. You got the W. The W matters. But I think for the Tigers, when you're watching their Ws, especially in the last 2 months or so, it's just a lot of wishing. It's a lot of hoping. It's just a lot of things. And even when they happen, you're like, that's not sustainable. And I think that's the biggest thing for Tigers fans that are on the edge is even when they win, you're like, but is that sustainable? Like, can you count on that guy to make that play? Can you count on this bobbled play right here to happen in the next game to win? Shep, there was one stat that I heard last night that is the stat that bothers me. I'm optimistic. I told you I was optimistic. I thought they were going to win this series, to be honest. I started there. So I'm still optimistic.
They can still win the series.
100%.
They should beat the guy starting today.
Okay.
And then you've got your favorite guy going in Game 5. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. I like it.
But remember, that same guy that we all counted on lost Game 2, lost Game 5 against Cleveland last year, lost against Cleveland earlier this year in a really important series.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay? Not all on him. Yeah. I'm just telling you, it doesn't guarantee squat. Go ahead. Sorry.
After 72 games, the Tigers were 48-24 at home. I repeat, after 72 games, the Detroit Tigers this year were 48-24 at home. Like, when you played at home, when you played at Comerica Park for the Tigers, it was easy peasy. They were taking care of business. This became I know Shep doesn't like the word, so I won't say it. In the last 18 games, Shep, they're 2-16. What makes me believe that they're going to win this game, knowing that in the last 18 games at Comerica Park, where you call home, where your fans pay their hard-earned money to go into the stadium to watch you make something or do something, you're 2-16.
Yeah.
It just doesn't bode well because they need this game, or guess what? It's over.
It's unfathomable that a team at one point during the season, and I would say middle of the season, people considered, if not the best, one of the best teams in the American League, and now has not won a home game in over a month. September 6th was the last time they won a home game.
That's fake news. That's what it feels like.
It does. That's what it feels like.
Misinformation.
That's horrific. I mean, losing 12 of your last 14 at home is just unfathomable, right? For this team in the first 145 games to average better than 5 runs per game, and in the last, whatever it is, 17, averaging about 2.3 is unfathomable.
Yeah, that 5.5 is a real number, and that's why the Tigers are confusing, because you can't take that away from me. You can't average 50. Was it 5.5 over 80 plus?
Well, I'm rounding up. I think it's a little under 5.5, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, 145. I think is what the number of games. Yeah,
and that's a real. That was a real representation of what they were and now you see the record in terms of just the home record that we and Shep talk about. That is also and now the reflection of who they are. So, Shep, I can't make heads or tails of it.
It's hard, isn't it? I mean, you're a professional athlete, and you still shake your head a little bit. Let me give you a quick stat. This is over basically a baseball calendar year. From August 11th of 2024 through July 8th of this year, this team was 90-47.
Yeah.
Okay? That means since July 9th until the end of September, end of the regular season, 28-41. So I ask you this. Is that catching lightning in a bottle for about a baseball season, 6 months?
Yeah.
Or is that a trend now that this is who they are? I mean, you can make an argument either way, couldn't you?
You could. Yeah. I think it's a mixture of both. I lean more towards it's who they are in a good space. The problem is it's now when you watch the Tigers do interviews after games or before games, when you're watching them, they all feel the same. I'm gonna make it make sense in a second. Okay. We talked about this, Shep. When you're watching a Riley Green do an interview, or you're watching Spencer Torkelson do an interview, or watching Javi Baez, or you're watching Zach McKinstry or Parker Meadows, nobody feels different. Regardless of how they feel about, let's say, Riley Green, them believing that he's the guy, the player for them, the leader, it doesn't sound like it. It doesn't feel like it. Usually in a ball club, usually when you're watching, responses to a game, you're watching interviews, you know who the guy is that they're going to go to that leads the ball, that leads the locker room, that leads the dugout. You know the guy that they lean to based on when you see them interview everybody. We'll use Philly. When they're in Philadelphia, yes, Schwarber, yes, Castellanos, yes. Bryce Harper is the guy they're going to, and you know he's the one leading that team. You know his emotion, his conversation, how he feels is reverberated in that dugout, reverberated in that 100%. They don't have a guy that you know they're going to when I'm watching. I'm like, all right, who's what? Because they don't have one. You can tell me Riley Green is the best player. Okay, fine. He doesn't sound like it when he's at the microphone. And it doesn't have to sound like a certain thing, but as a former player, you just know there's certain guys on the team that the media knows this is the guy, this is the leader. Shep, you've done this for years. You know the guys that go to that stir the coffee, that they stir the coffee or they stir the pot in that locker room, and this is where I'm going to get. How does this team feel? What is this team up to? And how does he sound? Because I know this team, they're going to lean on this guy.
It sounds like you're talking about leadership here, and I don't want to read too much into it, but you and I had an off-camera conversation yesterday, and it was a healthy one, about Aaron Judge. I like him a lot, but I also...
All rise.
But I thank you. Now you may be seated. And you and I talked about his numbers.
Yeah.
Last night, down 6-1, he basically looked, this is Hollywood-esque, he basically looked at his dugout and says, we're not losing this game without me giving us a chance to fight like hell for it. He goes 3 for 4. He scores 4 runs. He drives in 3. He hits a home run to tie the game, his 10th as a Yankee, which is tied for third all-time in a very illustrious team's history, and forces another game. I don't know if they're winning today, all right? I just don't. But here's what I do know. He made sure that down 6-1, that park became alive, and everybody else went, holy shit, you know what? This is a guy I'm going to follow, all right? And I love that stuff. I think for the Tigers, with all due respect to their players who I like a lot, I think it's A.J. Hinch. I think it's their manager. I'm waiting for someone to step forward and then, yes, I'll use the cliche, step up. That's what I would like to see. So a few things in the chat. One said Moneyball, which is, it's a lie. Don't buy that. It's not Moneyball. Moneyball with the Oakland A's and Billy Beane did not rank 14th in the league in payroll. Moneyball is getting guys on the cheap and then letting them play and kind of piecemeal it together. Okay? That is not what the Tigers are. That's not Moneyball. The Tigers are not Moneyball. Don't buy into that narrative. I don't know who's telling you that. It's bullcrap.
Just because you don't like who the Tigers paid, now I can agree with you on that.
Same
Just
here.
Just because you don't like who the Tigers paid, don't mean they're not paying and spending money.
Right.
Right.
Moneyball didn't go out and spend $25 million on Jack Flaherty, $25 million on Javier Baez, extend Colt Keith, and all that other stuff. Okay, Moneyball didn't spend $15 million on Alex Cobb.
Don't say that.
So that's number one. Number two, they got this far. To me, it doesn't matter.
That was mean.
That was mean. It was true. It was true. It was true, but it was mean.
Truth hurts sometimes.
Truth
Man.
does hurt. Amen to that, Ryan. Amen, baby.
You know what? I digress.
The other one is it's a super chat. Love the super chats and smash that like button. I'm getting the lingo down from Kool-Aid.
I see you over there,
But
Shep.
Randall Small says, I'll take Mize and Scooble against any other 2 pitchers. That's fine. That's your prerogative, not me. Max Fried won 19 games. Carlos Rodon won 18 games. I'll take Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo over them.
But it's what you're taking behind them, too. Like, you're taking those 2 pitchers. Are you taking their bats with them?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a good question.
You can have them, but
that's a good. Although Philadelphia struggled a little bit, especially their big bats: Schwarber, Harper, Turner. The other guys, I would say, is if you looked at it. I mean, if you're Seattle, if they had Brian Wu, I'd take Brian Wu. I'd take Logan Gilbert. I'd take George Kirby. I'd take Luis Castillo over Detroit's top 2. I'd take Scooble over anybody. But the combination, no way am I doing that. I think that's simply ridiculous. I mean, that's just, well, you can talk yourself into it, but it's not the best 1-2 punch in the playoffs.
Speaking of pitching, we talk a lot about who doesn't have bullpen, what bullpens aren't showing up. Big conversation that we had and quick was about the New York Yankees and them not having a bullpen.
Right.
Kudos to what the Yankees did last night. Maybe a little too late.
Too little, too late.
Too little, too late. My apologies. I had a little.
That's all right. Yeah, keep going.
Got it juggled up in there. Maybe a little bit too late, but that bullpen last night and what they were able to do and how they closed that game out, 0 runs in that last 3 innings, like that's what you want from a bullpen. Like that's the type of performance that you got to have and be able to get to the dance and actually close the dance out. Like they may not close the dance out, but kudos to the Yankees bullpen because they went to work last night.
Who's that son of a gun at the end of the bullpen? Who's that tough SOB at the end of the bullpen? It's David Bednar.
Yeah.
Who doesn't give up runs. I think it's 24 appearances, hasn't allowed a run.
Yeah.
That's called a lockdown guy. I'm not comparing him to Mariano Rivera, okay? I don't think he's Trevor Hoffman. That's not where I'm going. I'm just saying from a guy who you want to hand the ball to and say, Jesus, take the wheel. That's him.
There it is.
Okay? That's what it is. I mean, that's what he does, and that's kind of why I wanted him at the trade deadline, but I'm not going to go through that. This from the chat. All bats struggle in the playoffs. Are we talking Tigers bats? Because it seems like it. You can't say it's a guy who we talked about yesterday, Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is batting 500 in the series.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge was really good in the Boston series. So I wouldn't say all bats. I don't want to take it too literally. If you're talking about the Tigers, find me the guy. Here's what I'm going to ask everybody, and same in the chat. Give me the name of the guy in a clutch situation right now. Game 4 today. You're down a run, runners at second and third, 2 out. For some reason, Dan Wilson doesn't walk you.
Right.
Who do you want in the batter's box? Who do you feel is going to come through in the clutch? Aaron Judge did it last night. We've seen other players do it, okay? We've seen Cal Raleigh do it, Julio Rodriguez do it. We've seen Vladimir Guerrero Jr. do it, who hit another bomb last night for Toronto to help him get to the 6-1 lead. Who would you take?
Stephen Kwan.
No, I'm talking about Tigers.
Miguel Cabrera?
He was in the building.
He was in the building. Can we get him up?
To be honest, the only player that I trust in this situation for the Tigers is the only player that every game I'm like, he'll probably get a hit. And that is former Yankee Gleyber Torres.
He had 2 hits. I know
he's the only player who had 2 hits for the Tigers.
100%. Like, he's the guy, whenever you check the score about, he typically has a hit. He doesn't mind the moment. He doesn't mind swinging first pitch. He doesn't mind extending the count. He's damn good at staying ahead. So give me Gleyber Torres. And even that one's like, I'm forcing to find one.
I know you are.
And I'm going to go with Gleyber Torres.
He's had a little more swing and miss in the second half, which is a little bothersome. I do understand why anybody would choose Gleyber Torres in that situation.
Can I ask a question?
And by the way, to your credit, he knows. Yeah. He knows. He was ready for this. Gleyber Torres had 318 with runners in scoring position.
There we go.
All right? That's pretty damn good. Am I wrong there? That's pretty damn good. What do you consider clutch? Okay? 2 outs, 2 men on, I don't know. But runners in scoring position is important. He's batting 318. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that on the Tigers. Kool-Aid, who would you take?
Somebody on the Tigers?
Somebody on – well, yeah.
Wow.
We've got a situation.
You also can say nobody, because that will feed into the conversation that we're having anyway.
Yeah, I want to be able to believe in Kerry Carpenter, who we've seen come through in the clutch in the past. So if I had to say somebody, I would say Kerry Carpenter. But right now, I'm just with the power stats that Shep has dropped. Man, my confidence.
Kerry Bonds.
It's pretty low right now.
Yeah, the Kerry. I get where they get it because my friend and your friend Craig Monroe used to say that about Kerry Carpenter, and I think some of the players kind of gravitated toward that.
Not true, but fun more so than anything.
Yeah. It's such a hard thing.
No one should ever have Bonds behind their name except Barry Bonds.
Never seen a guy so and locked in all my life, quite honestly.
He became my favorite player because Ken Griffey but Ken Griffey Jr., I saw an interview years ago when he was playing with Cincinnati, where he said, man, he's a little bit better.
Yeah, never seen anything quite like it. Don't like the cheating. Don't like the cheating part of it, so I'm not going to get into that.
Okay, that's fair.
Guys, men's heads should not grow, nor should their feet grow when they're in their 30s. But either way, if I said to you, if I said to you, Kerry Carpenter this year with runners in scoring position, hit 163, would that surprise you?
I think so.
Okay.
163.
Yeah. With 2 men on, he hit 207. I think what we hold on to certain moments. I love him, by the way. I do. I think he's an awesome guy, but I think he's a really good player. We hold on to certain moments, I think, in our childhood and in our adulthood about certain guys. You're not going to get this out of your mind. Pick a guy. Hank Aaron, 715. Unbelievable. How they let 2 guys out on the field to run around second base with him, I'll never know. But it's incredible, right?
You know what? That's very real.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with Kerry Carpenter, who I like a lot. Certain homers. The homer against Seattle early in the series. Who would you say, Ryan?
I just have to say Gleyber. And, I mean, he's just the most reliable, I would say, in this situation. There's not many people to choose from. And in clutch, in terms of clutch, I would say – with guys and runners in scoring position, that's the way I define clutch. Doesn't matter how many outs there is. As long as there's guys on, you get them home.
So without looking at any numbers, I chose Dylan Dingler. It's the guy who I am confident in.
He's the best batter right now for the Tigers.
When he's in the batter's box and there are tough situations awaiting him.
Yeah.
And I was close. You were right with Gleyber Torres. 296 is what Dingler's hitting with runners in scoring position on the year. Okay? All right, so at 3 o'clock, his first pitch or shortly thereafter, we're going to talk about it throughout the show here on the Braylon Edwards Show. When we come back, we want to get Braylon's top 5 wide receivers, and I also want to bring up a certain name, see if Braylon agrees with this, who should be in the College Football Hall of Fame. It's a Michigander, and I think there's something wrong on why he's not. I'll give you some comparisons and numbers associated with it as we roll on a Game 4 Wednesday on Woodward Sports.
Go Tigers.
Before we get to Ben Johnson, look, can't wait. My guy Brendan, our guy Brendan in the back, he will be bringing us some of that buddies that your boy Shep is always talking about. The Wolverine.
BuddiesPizza.com.
BuddiesPizza.com. They have the Wolverine versus the State Square. It's the battle for the houses. Michigan versus Michigan State. Obviously, we'll be getting the Wolverine. Has a little pineapple on it. 100%. I don't eat that other stuff. I don't subscribe. So, but we'll have more on that when we get it. Now, let me tell
Are
you
you a pineapple guy on your pizza?
I definitely am a pineapple guy on my pizza.
Kool-Aid is?
Like my
Brian?
perfect recipe for a pizza that I create is pineapple, banana peppers, pepperoni, and a splash of bacon. Like that'd be my perfect pizza that I create. But that a pizza place creates, you gotta go to Supreme.
I think somebody, besides BlackRock, I think somebody is here kind of politicking for his own pizza at Buddy's. It could be.
I'm just saying.
It could be.
Shep with the investigative journalism.
Speaking of investigating,
And we'll be
Ben
back.
Johnson will do that for you. Let him get all the information on what you got going on, because Ben Johnson is the fighter, so let him fight for you. Corporations, the government, even your insurance company will do whatever it takes to minimize their liability and then withhold from you. We don't want them withholding anything from you. We want everything you have to go to you. That's what Vin wants, so that's why he wants to fight for you. Go to VinFights.com and get him out in the game and let him do the things that you need to do.
Today's going to be stressful.
Is it?
It really is. It's going to be stressful. A.J. Hinch is
You don't say.
looking for his 1,000th career win. What a way to win that milestone victory, right? It's going to be stressful, so you want to have good food when you're watching it. You want to have a lot of options, what you can drink while you're watching it, and there's no better place for that than Art and Jake's Sports Bar and Grill. They got 6 locations for you throughout Metro Detroit. They've got 22 beers on tap, and they have 80, count them 80, I'll let you count for a while here, television screens where you can watch the Tigers today, the Yankees later on, the Brewers and Cubs as Milwaukee tries to close them out, and the Dodgers and Phillies. And then tomorrow you get Thursday night football
Gets me
with
hyped.
the Red Wings. I mean, you want to be able to watch it all. Am I wrong? You want to watch the Wings in Montreal. You can't go to Sean Baligian's house because he's going to be wearing a Montreal cap. So where do you go?
And his underwear.
And his underwear. Not that we know that,
What a
but
mess.
it's too much information. Art and Jake's is the place to go. Find them on their app, Art and Jake's app, and then join AJ's fan club and make every day a game day win.
The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Look, Shaq works out of Planet Fitness and shows you with over 50 metropolitan and Detroit
That's a
locations.
great
It's the gym for you, man. It's the gym for everybody. And now at Planet Fitness, we want you to start your journey. Everybody has to start somewhere, so why not make it Planet Fitness, man? Squeaky clean gyms, aqua hydro massage chairs. Now that black card is something special. $24.99 a month, but it gives you access to all the things like that hydro massage chair that I enjoy so much, especially on Sundays before I go to church. Planet Fitness, they also have fitness that fits into your price point. Not trying to hit you over the head, take an arm and a leg. Planet Fitness, come in. Your fitness is essential.
And come in and make sure when you're drinking to watch the Tigers today, and hopefully in Game 5 as well, you're doing it with friends of yours. You're doing it responsibly, but you're doing it with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea that is so smooth. It is so refreshing. There are no bubbles. It's just a clean, crisp sip that gives you 4.5% alcohol and only, and I repeat this, only 100 calories. It is perfect for tailgates. It is perfect for any sports watching experience that you have. It is Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Get some today.
And we back.
Shout out to Sun Cruiser for the Detroit Lions shirts, man. They came and blessed Woodward Sports in the studio. Shep, they got one for you too before you get out of hand and say something. There's a shirt for you and everybody else.
I like that. I
so
like
we
that.
appreciate you. Got the little Sun Cruiser right there on the side and then something on the back.
Should I keep the what do you call the little flashing tag on your left shoulder
So
there?
you know what's funny?
What's
I
that?
legitimately, if you pay attention, I was about to take it off, and I remember our conversation yesterday from that. So I left this on just for you.
All right, can I get into this College Football Hall of Fame real quick? My partner doesn't know this, but I wanted to do this. Braylon and I have talked a number of times. He's a pretty modest dude. One of the many things I like about him. I don't care where, no offense, I don't care where he ranks in Michigan history. I care about how he compares to the NCAA. All right? When you look at a College Football Hall of Fame, it's not about, well, he was the best player in New Mexico. So what? It's about where you rank in the college football landscape, not the Michigan landscape. So I say this with, and I'm sure he would take it too, with great humility. When I look at his numbers, I am stunned that he is not in the College Football Hall of Fame. When you look at his numbers, and these are some of the guys, I think you have to compare yourself on a level playing field. So this is Jeremy Maclin, who played at Mizzou. What's that?
Played for the Eagles.
Played for the Eagles, yep. You have down here in the right-hand corner is Terrence Mathis, who was a star at New Mexico.
Atlanta Falcons.
Up in the upper left-hand corner, Mike Haas. Okay, I don't know if he ever made it.
Mike made it.
And again, College Football Hall of Fame. It's not about what you do as a pro. It doesn't matter that he's a third-round pick. What should matter is what he did at the collegiate level. And then here in the right-hand side is Justin Blackman, who played for Oklahoma State,
and
right?
Sometimes they like that.
And kind of looks like Terrell Owens, but either way. So Maclin was an All-American as a freshman. He was two-time All-Conference. He set conference records for all-purpose yards as a freshman and a sophomore. I'm not saying he's not worthy. Terrence Mathis was the first consensus All-American at New Mexico. Finished his career as the NCAA all-time leader in receptions and yards. First in NCAA history with 200 receptions, 4,000 yards receiving, and over 6,000 total yards, purpose yards.
Sheesh.
All right, yeah. Justin Blackman, Oregon State, was a walk-on and left as the all-time leader in receivers.
Haas.
3 years, or Haas was, I'm sorry, a walk-on. All-time leader in receiving, 3 years, 1,000 yards, and All-American Biletnikoff Award winner. Okay? And lastly, and really good in the Pac-12 history. And then, of course, right here, Justin Blackman, fifth in the Heisman and All-American, second ever to win the Biletnikoff twice. The reason I bring up some of their credentials is because I'm going to give you the credential of this individual, and then I want you to tell me what you're noticing in similar fashion. This individual was a unanimous All-American. You've heard that from each of these four. A Biletnikoff Award winner. You've heard it from all four of those. 252 receptions. That's a school record. Again, I don't care what the school is, but a lot of these guys didn't have that many. Okay? 3,500 yards for a team that, well, was probably known more as a running school.
Definitely.
39 touchdowns. Led the nation in 2004 with 97 rocks, over 1,300 yards. Led the nation the year before in touchdowns with 13. And is the only Big Ten receiver in history, at least at the time, with 3 consecutive 1,000 yards seasons. Mike Haas did the same thing at Oregon State. 3 straight seasons of 1,000 yards or more. Big Ten MVP. 17 times had 100-yard games. Jeremy Maclin had 19. So this person's not that far off. And by the way, that same person has the second fastest time in his school history in the 200 meters.
Okay.
So the numbers that I'm using with this certain individual is very close, and sometimes in certain cases eclipses any of these guys. And the guy I'm talking about, of course, is Jeremy Gallon. So I'm just kidding.
I ain't gonna lie, I was like, what?
No, it's Braylon Edwards. And again, he didn't know I was doing that. I'm wondering if there's ever been any conversation with you and anybody in the College Football Hall of Fame, and if you ever thought about that or wonder what credentials are needed in order for you to get in there.
Yeah. I thought about it. I think as you get older, and I crack jokes about a lot of NFL players that are kind of on the cusp of the NFL, and so they'll start lobbying, if you will, for themselves. But to do the information, do the homework.
Yeah.
Now I'm 42, and I'm like, all right, wait a minute. Because you start to have things like your reunions come up, and you start to realize, like, damn, I've been going 20 years.
Yeah.
And then you start to do the math, like, well, I've been going 20 years. Like, damn, I haven't had a phone call. Like, the College Football Hall of Fame.
So it is something you thought about.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Because you want to get into the Hall of Fame. My dream as a child was to get into the NFL Hall of Fame, win the Super Bowl, get drafted in the first round, and do all those things. That NFL Hall of Fame didn't happen. However, I put myself in a position over my 4-year career in college to be in the College Football Hall of Fame, and it's something that I want, but not just because I want it. It's something that I know I deserve. Mm-hmm. So I'm legitimately just waiting, vetting the process, seeing what happens. I know 2-3 years ago, Steve Hutchinson went into the College Football Hall of Fame. It does take a little longer. You look at what he did 4 years in a row. He was first team All Big Ten, 2 All-Americans. So, I mean, it takes time, but at some point, the numbers are the numbers. And I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate what you said. My thing on it, when you're the number 1 statistical leader in a conference for 20 years, like that in itself.
Well, that conference.
Like in that conference happens to be the number 1 conference, and if you want to put them 2, fine, it's 2.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about the totality, 140 years, the Big Ten is the conference.
And the great receivers who've come out of there.
100%. Okay. So when you look at it that way, I mean, you're talking Chris, like you can even go further back to the Chris Carters of the world, the Anthony Carters who donned the number 1, which is why.
And who's in the College Football Hall of Fame?
Desmond Howard.
In the College Football Hall of Fame.
And he played 1 year. Why? Neither here nor there. Yeah. And what he did. So it's one of those things you like.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just saying,
it's cool.
It's
cool.
when you look at like Terrence Mathis is a guy I think a lot of people may have forgotten because it's New Mexico.
I want to get in before the recency bias though. Like that would be my one thing. I don't want to be 60 waiting to get into the Hall of Fame. I know all this recency bias and then all these Ohio State wide receivers because their school does a good job.
Well, so that leads to a different conversation. But let me just finish with Mathis. 262 catches in his career. That's a lot.
It's 10 more.
Well, yeah, it's 11 more than you. But remember, your freshman year is basically a wash.
Yeah,
you played 6 games. Okay, you really did this in 3 years, not 4. All right, and I'm not, pumping your tires here. I don't know Michigan's protocol to do stuff like this. I don't know how important it is to the Wolverines. I don't know how important it is for that school in general.
Does it fall on them?
Who else would it fall on?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you don't have your own PR team.
Right.
It sure doesn't fall on the Big Ten. It falls on the University of Michigan.
Yeah, I don't think the Big Ten
period.
Michigan.
Okay. Again, I don't know if they did it for Desmond Howard. I don't know if they did it for Anthony Carter or Steve Hutchinson or anybody else who is in that Hall of Fame. I'm a big believer that you should brag about some of the things that your school or your teams have accomplished. If you're going to reach a little bit and try to tell me that X player was one of the best running backs of all time and he wasn't, then stay at home. But we're talking about somebody who has accomplished something at a very high level and did it consistently. That's a really hard thing to do. And if I'm going to say the Tigers should do a better job of promoting their great players or their very good players and telling more people about them, I've got to stay consistent with that. Why schools don't have somebody to do some research and be, lack of a better word, a historian? I don't know.
I think for the smaller schools that are big schools, I'll give you an example in a second. I think it's a political thing and it's that. So if you have like Pittsburgh's a smaller school. Now they're a big school, they're a D1 school, but they're a small school, right?
Okay.
The politics side of the College Football Hall of Fame or any Hall of Fame is what's currently going on for that person. Fast forward, one of the greatest wide receivers in college football history, friend of mine, I think he's legit top 4 of all time, is Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald, 2 seasons at Pittsburgh, but Larry Fitzgerald had a Hall of Fame career. Like, was one of the best receivers the entirety of the time that he played. Mm-hmm. Played on some teams. One went to the Super Bowl. He had most notably what would have been a Super Bowl MVP performance until Pittsburgh goes out and there, Santonio Holmes catches the touchdown. So as that's going on, you got one school lobbying for him in Pittsburgh. Like, you got to put our guy in. Like, we don't get very much. Last guy we had before him was probably, Dan Marino and Tony Dorsett.
Yeah.
Put our guy in.
Yeah.
And then you have this career that's going on where it's nothing but respecting the NFL. So now it's like, hey, let's put that guy in. It's a good look. Same thing happened with Calvin.
Yeah.
Like Calvin goes on. I had better numbers than Larry Fitzgerald and Calvin.
Yeah.
But Calvin has his great college career. This even better NFL career.
Yeah.
He's also.
But if you say that, people look at people look at you differently.
Right. It's
like
true.
Pitt's a really good example. Bill Fralick, really good. Hugh Green, all these guys, College Football Hall of Fame. I guess I went to their website thinking about this last night a little bit. And I saw a guy like Armonte Edwards. Do you know who he is?
I remember Armonte Edwards. He's from, hold on, I'll tell you. Let me see.
10 seconds.
Appalachian State.
Correct. First Division I player in history with more than 10,000 passing yards, 4,000 rushing yards, 4-time first-team All-American.
And he beat Michigan.
Okay. And he beat Michigan. I thought to myself, how is he in there? How is Dion Figures a cornerback at Colorado? Right. It's not about what you do in the pros. It's what you've done at the collegiate level. I had to do a deep dive based on, it's not like I think guys don't deserve it. I mean, Toby Gerhart was a really good player. So he wasn't very good with Minnesota. Big deal. He was great at Stanford, okay?
If you don't do anything in the NFL and you don't have people lobbying for you, like we have consistency, then you can get lost in the shuffle. And I think that's what happened with me. My NFL career, yes, I got 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, got big moments in the AFC Championship. But I played 8 years. The last 2 years were kind of like, trying to figure it out, knee injuries, the whole 9 yards. So it was a good career. I appreciate it, but it wasn't the level of Larry Fitzgerald or Calvin Johnson. And then also in Michigan, what happens? Lloyd retires. Here comes Rich Rod. Rich Rod has no care about the past tradition. Right. It's my school. It's Virginia, Midwest. He gets fired. He gets canned. Here comes Hoke. Hoke's not here long enough. And here comes Harbaugh, who I'll just leave that there.
Well, I don't even know I don't want to blame the head coaches because I'm not sure if they're.
You've also had four presidents or four
athletic
ADs
directors
since I've been gone.
Yeah,
like a lot of times the sense of consistency, your people, your AD, your coaches, your things. All right, cool. You leave.
Yes, agreed with all that. I'm a big believer that if you're going to take the job, you better know the history of whatever. So if you're a new athletic director, if you're an athletic director in general, you should know the history of that program. And one of the first things I would be doing is reaching out to important alumni and make sure that anything I can do for them, this is an important thing. It's an important thing for you, but more importantly, it's an important thing for the school and the football program to be able to go to another player or another recruit or whatever and say, this is what we have. Not only do we have NFL champions and we have Rose Bowl wins and we have national championships and we have victories, this is also come here and you got a chance to go into the College Football Hall of Fame with this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy.
And this is how we'll advocate for you later.
Thank you. Thank you. Really? It's called taking care of your own.
Taking care of business.
Okay, BTO. So that
every day.
He's singing, man. That's right.
Yeah, this is 3 days in a row he sang. I just want you to know. So anyway, I didn't mean. I mean, Sylvester Croom, who's a really good dude. Coached for the Lions, and coached for Alabama, and coached at Michigan State. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. There are a lot of names that might surprise you. It's one of those rabbit holes. I get stuck in this sometimes. I get stuck in Baseball Reference and Pro Football Reference and Basketball Reference and Hockey Reference, and I go into these holes and I can't get myself out. I got in a deep hole last night looking at it and going, Mike Doss is in, Chuck Ely is in. Oh my God, Kevin Falk is in. I was looking for your name. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Like, yeah, he went to LSU.
Yeah.
He did his thing at LSU. But yeah, to your point, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But
So,
he also, I go back to NFL. He also had a very extensive career, winning Super Bowls with the Patriots. Like people,
Mark Messner, a guy you know well, he's in.
Therein lies the issue with Michigan, I think, is like they have so many guys that are, I'm not going to say on my level, but they got a lot of guys that could be in the Hall of Fame. This like, all right, if we lobby for this guy, why not this guy? It's the right guy. It's the right time. So I don't know. I'm thinking at this point I'm making excuses.
If I said to you, yes or no, Tony Romo's in the Hall of Fame, what would you say? College Football Hall of Fame.
Yes.
He is.
But once again, it makes sense. Tony Romo goes to Eastern Illinois, small school. They don't have much. They have him. They got Sean Payton. They got Jimmy Garoppolo. He goes to the Dallas Cowboys. They are super uberly proud of their guy, Tony Romo. And then he goes on to have success as the Dallas Cowboys. We got to do what we got to do to get our guy into the Hall of Fame. So, because when Tony gets in, what school did he go to? Eastern Illinois. So it comes back to the institution, to your point. So once again, lobby for his guy.
Your good friend who we had on the program last week, Eric Crouch, is in. So that's my plea.
Yeah.
I hope Michigan sees some of this, takes it and runs with it. I hope the College Football Hall of Fame looks at this, understands the case, takes it and runs with it, and then I'll give your keynote speak.
Speaking of cases.
Speaking of speeches?
Speaking of cases.
Cases, all right.
I got to make my case for who's number one at the wide receiver position.
Okay, we're going to do that right now. You wanted to get off this topic pretty quick. I appreciate that very much. Let's get a word from Smoothie King and Dr. Pierce, and then we'll get into Braylon's top 5 wide receivers and why he may be wrong when we come back.
One of the biggest things I love about this
come on, man. You didn't take that bite at all.
My bad. You know what? I wasn't on it. You flustered me with all these compliments, man. I'm up here blushing. Recovery, it's where winners are made. And one of the things I love partnering up with Smoothie King, the smoothie is the real fruit side. Not these fake fruit, not artificial. It's real fruit. It's the real deal. That's what Smoothie King wants to do, and that's why we're glad we partnered up with them. Clean ingredients, real fruit, and protein. It helps me to refruit, and it'll help you as well. Also, we are proud to partner up in the Smoothie King High School Athlete of the Week. If you have any, once again, it can be your son, it can be your daughters, it can be your students, it can be your friends. You have the option to nominate them. All they have to do is fit the profile and fit the criteria. Scan the QR code above my head and nominate them to the Detroit Area High School Athlete of the Week. Now, that comes with 2026 Smoothies for the Year. Yes, Smoothies for the Year. You heard me correctly. And also, you get some of that dope Smoothie King merch. So, let's start by doing this. Let's go to Smoothie King. Get that diet the right way.
Man, tell the good people about another
Dr. Jeffrey Pierce, the Injury Insider.
See him tomorrow.
248-426-9944, and that's perfect because I got to talk to him about an L4, L5 situation. Michigan Sports and Spine, and you can also catch him on that Big D Energy on Tuesdays. See him with us on Thursdays, like Shep said, that will be tomorrow. Get your diagnosis ready and get it together. She's going to make sure whatever you got, whether it's a neck, whether it's a back, whether it's a shoulder, whether it's a knee, he'll make sure it's right, and he'll get it right fast. Scan the QR code or call him at that number.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Lamar looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? You should see what I did there. Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
LesStanford.com is the place to go if you want to check out some of the best vehicles that are in your price range and has the best inventory. Exterior, interior, they're going to find you something that fits your budget and fits your style. Take a look right there above my head, $229 a month. It is a beautiful looking vehicle right there. It is the 2025 Equinox EV LT, $229 a month plus tax. The Lyric, the Cadillac, a brand new one, $489 a month plus tax. And then that good looking, I saw another couple on Woodward today, the 2025 Hummer EV SUT, just $599 a month. I know that's hard to believe, but that's the way it goes at Les Stanford, LesStanford.com.
Drive on over that brand new car to Jack's Car Wash, where you can get a free car wash if you text WSN to 888-522-1729. Again, 888-522-1729. You know what Jack's is about. I tell you all the time. Sun is out today. Remember rain yesterday? Remember I told you to get that unlimited plan? You could come right back today, get that car wash, and get it shining. Well, that's what you could have did if you had the plan. Not too late. Sign up today. Over 40 metropolitan Detroit locations. Just pull up. Just pull up.
We are back, and Shep's Day has to be made.
Get your shine on. That's
Shep's Day got to be made.
Look at what Buddy's is. So Katie and our good friends at Buddy's right there in Royal Oak, Woodward, 12.5 mile.
Fire.
Are celebrating, yes, fire. See, he's a model, too. Look at what he does. You know, that's pretty. That's pretty. You almost don't want to ruin it.
I used to love that show.
Price is Right?
No, the briefcase show.
Oh, yeah.
Deal or No Deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Deal or No Deal. Yep. So what was that one? Explain what that one was.
Okay. This is the state square, and I wonder when my hand started itching. It's Wisconsin brick cheese, Buddy's house cooked seasoned ground beef, spinach, white onions, and original pizza sauce topped with ricotta cheese. It's really pretty.
That's really nice looking. You almost don't want to dive into it, but we will. So this is the battle for the houses. Now the Wolverine, which Braylon feels more comfortable showcasing. Nope, that one's halfway gone. This one right here.
This is the Wolverine, ladies and gentlemen. Wisconsin brick cheese, same thing, but it's cooked Italian sauces, caramelized onions, pineapple rings, tomato basil sauce, and Sicilian spice blend. See that right there?
Well, we getting a Braves breakdown right now?
That's awesome.
Here, show them the diagram. Show them real quick.
The cheese is cooked to perfection. You know what? Kool-Aid just came up with a great idea.
Food review.
I mean, Buddy's Braylon's breakdown, where we're breaking down pizza and we're breaking down film. How beautiful would that be?
That's better business.
This one's
right
almost
there.
gone.
Hey, BBB, shut up.
Hey, shout out Kool-Aid tonight for that one.
You know you can't go wrong with the classics, man. This is a little bit cheese pizza right here, a little half and half.
Oh, yeah.
Cheese and pepperoni.
Let me zoom in on that one for him.
The Detroiter, baby.
That's a beautiful
Give him
thing.
that breakdown, man.
Listen to Ryan. Ryan opens his mic while he's chewing.
Oh.
I mean, didn't I know your mom and dad taught you better than that. Yeah, obviously not. You're sitting here with a mouthful and you're opening, you're chewing, and you're going, no one can hear you. What are you doing, man?
It's good. I mean,
it's good.
It's good.
Don't worry, Ryan. They got me like that before, bro. Buddies gets you.
Hey, it's good. I love it.
It is. It's fantastic. So our thanks to Katie and the folks at
Shout
Buddies
out
right there
Buddies.
in
They
Royal
get a
Oak.
shout
They've
out.
got 22 locations throughout the state of Michigan. You can't go wrong. They've been doing it for 79 years, doing it this well. It's the original Detroit-style pizza. Let me get back to the chat real quick, and then we will get to your top 5 wide receivers. Cody says, Shep, because Michigan runs on the model the team, Michigan should be having Braylon meet with every wide receiver recruit. He's also spoken out against Michigan, held them to a standard. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, quite honestly. I believe in holding our teams to a standard, so why can't he hold his alma mater? I don't think Cody's upset about that. He's just saying that. Cartier, Shep has his daily Buddies pizza. I don't know if it's daily. I could eat it daily, but thank you for that. Yes, we have it right now. Crazy Clown. I said the entire time that it's 162 plus and not be surprised if it's going to get tough. The Tigers are still standing. Well, that's well said. You're 100% right about that. Let's hope they're standing after today. But at some point, you do come to a bit of a conclusion about a team. Jim on Twitter sent me this. I don't have any faith in any part of the Tigers game other than when Tarek Skubal starts. It gives them a chance every time. Other than that, I got nothing. So we invite you in the chat here on Woodward Sports, and we will try to get to them as much as we can. James brought up a really good point. Yeah. Why do we coddle the Tigers? Well, James, I don't think you're referring to the Braylon Edwards show. We don't coddle them. In fact, they sent something out yesterday where I wasn't coddling them, and people were pissed off about it. So maybe you're right. Maybe the fan base in general coddles them. I don't. Yeah. I expect certain things. This is not, let me be respectful here. This is not the Colorado Rockies, the Miami Marlins, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Minnesota Twins, okay? The teams that didn't think they had a chance. This team, I felt, had a chance, and I think you did too. And if you don't admit that, I think you're lying to yourself, and they have missed the opportunity. All right, let's get to Braylon's top 5 wide receivers right now. It's a passing league. Yeah. We know that. It'll be interesting to see who you think are your top 5 wide receivers, and this is not necessarily based on just statistics, not based on numbers, but this is based off your professional eye and what you think. I have my belief on who is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but people want to hear about your expertise and who you think are the top 5 wide receivers in football right now, and maybe where a specific Lion might land on that top 5 list. Give them to us.
Oh, he's definitely in here, but where is the question? Let's go backwards to forwards. We'll start with number 5. Put up 5 for me if you could. We'll go with boom, 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 ding, ding. Jeffrey. All right, cool. My bad. You got your boy Jay Jettas, Justin Jefferson with Carson Wentz is his quarterback now. Had J.J. McCarthy for 2 games. Still has managed to have 488 yards. Still making hella plays, 3 touchdowns. He still is that guy. He's just in search of a quarterback in a consistent offense right now. Had to leave him in there. I don't think I have to make my case for Jay Jettas at 5. Number 4, he's a new guy. One of these Ohio State wide receivers. I can't stand him, but I have to respect him. Emeka Egbuka is a problem. He is a monster, and you're seeing so in his rookie year. Right now, he's he's 4th in the league in yards, 445. He's 2nd in the league in touchdowns. And what he's doing with Baker Mayfield, remember, Mike Evans was out the first 4. He was out after game 1, so he's been out the last 4 games. And Chris Godwin missed the first 3 games and then came back. Emeka Egbuka has been the number 1 wide receiver for Baker Mayfield, whose team is 4-1 and the 2nd best team in the NFC. The fact that he trusts a rookie wide receiver like that, it's working. It shows you how good Emeka Egbuka is, and expecting a lot from him throughout his career. He's just another one. There's Garrett Wilson. There's Chris Olave. There's Emeka Egbuka. There's Marvin Harrison Jr. I can keep doing this, and actually,
let's be careful with Marvin Harrison Jr. He's been a disappointment.
True, but I'm just saying in terms of what they were in college and like coming in at expectation. Right, he hasn't gotten there yet, 100%. But so he's 3, 4 for me. 3. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna lead in again, like you did Egbuka.
No. I want this one up there because I know people are gonna come at me in the chat. I can't wait. I can't wait till I finish and we'll figure this thing out. Especially after the comments that I made about him being the best football player. It's not much to talk about with Saint. He's leading the league in touchdowns. Also, he leads the league in catching percentage at 85%. That is something to be said for that. 400 yards on the season, and look. He's just operating at a different level. We know the offense has kind of gone through him a little bit this season. They've used him to open up the running game as opposed to using Jahmyr Gibbs to opening up the passing game at the start of the season. So the season he's having, the in-syncness that he is with Jared Goff is something to be said about their relationship over the years, and it looks to be getting better and better. But currently, I got him at 3 in the NFL. Give me number 2. It's Puka Nacua. Now, he probably is 1 on most people's, or he could be 1. He should be 1. I got him at 2, but I have no problem with him being at 1. It's something about him this year. He looks different. His route running ability is better. He's getting in and out of his breaks a little bit faster. It almost seems as though he's gotten a bit faster in year 3 for him. And he makes that team go. He is the one they're looking for. He's physical. He doesn't mind blocking like Amon-Ra St. Brown. He loves the contact, and he is going to legitimately catch everything thrown his way, much like Amon-Ra St. Brown. But it looks different with Nacua this year. And that 588 and the relationship that he has with Matt Stafford is electric right now. And then number 1. Number 1, we're going to go with JSN. Here's another Ohio State guy. Now, I know he's a young guy, year 2 for him, but I got to put him number 1. Again, this is just for right now. Season will change. It might change next week. It definitely will change in 5 weeks. But currently, he leads the league, or he's 2nd in the league in yards. He's 3rd in the league in touchdowns. But what he's doing right now, when you watch it with Sam Darnold, who is a good quarterback in the last 24 games that he's played, he's electric right now. And they're not getting a lot out of the opposite side of the ball. He's not getting a lot out of Cooper Kupp. They're not getting a lot out of the tight ends. And even K9 and Zach Charbonnet, who came into the season, supposed to be these damaging dual running backs, haven't necessarily done it. It's been him. It's been Sam Darnold. And he's been rocking and rolling. He's been doing it with route running. He's been doing big plays down the field. He's been doing it in the clutch. He's doing it at the start of the game. He's doing everything right. So just right now, looking at the fact that what he's playing with, how he's operating, I got to have him number 1 right now. Puka Nacua for me is 2. The reason why I don't have him 1 is because Puka Nacua has Matt Stafford, the best quarterback in the league right now. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then he also has Devontae Adams on the opposite side, Kyron Williams in the backfield. I think there's a lot for Puka Nacua to get open. So that was the little nugget why I placed him 2nd.
Yeah, I would listen to Braylon Edwards before I'd listen to me. I mean, because he's played it. The reason I would put Puka Nacua 1 is because he's got 11 more catches than anybody else. He's got a lot more yards. He's got 11.3 yards per touch. He's got 100.
He's got 46 more yards than Ibuka. I mean than JSN. So not a lot.
He's got 118 yards per game, and yards after the catch is really impressive with 214. He's also got 31 first down grabs. I mean, that is That's really impressive. Amon-Ra Brown is really good in regards to that. He's got 25. Yeah. So they've all played the same amount of games. Puka Nacua is being mentioned as an MVP candidate, and for good reason. And because of that, as the first pitch takes place and a sharp grounder to third on the short hop, no problem for McKinstry. 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch for Casey Mize and the Tigers. I would say Puka Nacua, then Amon-Ra St. Brown, then Justin Jefferson, then Smith and Jibga, then Igbuka, and then Cam Sutton. So that's just my opinion. Like I said, I would listen to Braylon Edwards before I listen to me because...
Oh, you got Cortland Sutton fifth?
Cortland Sutton, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mean Cam Sutton. I said Cortland Sutton. Yeah.
But I know what you mean. He's playing well for Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Well. I think he's kind of under the radar. And it's a fun conversation because you teach us this all the time, especially in your Braylon's Breakdown, brought to you by Buddy's Pizza, is that you're looking at more than just catching the football. There's a lot of other things they do. Now, we take a look at Amon-Ra St. Brown and specialize his specialties a little bit more. Maybe we don't take note of what kind of blocker Puka Nacua is as much. Right. But if you're looking for the complete wide receiver, we would probably all go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. If you're looking for just the receiver aspect of it, I would go with Puka Nacua. Why do you take who's throwing them the football and who's playing opposite them into effect so much?
I think because you're doing more. I think if you don't have a quarterback that, look, and Sam Darnold's playing really good ball over the past 20 games or so not to take anything away from him, but when you think Sam Darnold, you think Matt Stafford, there's a big difference there. There's a huge difference there. So Matt Stafford is going to put the ball exactly where it needs to be. Jared Goff right now is going to put the ball exactly where it needs to be.
Baker Mayfield's
going to put the ball exactly where it needs to be. So when you look at that helps. When you got a guy in Sam Darnold where you may have to make more great catches, you may have to make more great plays, that goes somewhere. I look at the backfield. I look at what Jahmyr Gibbs, Dave Montgomery, and look at what that is. Look at what Jamison Williams and Sam Laporta. There's a lot of weapons here. There's a lot of time for Amon-Ra to move around, get lost, a lot of time to be one-on-one. And he wins those matches all the time, but there's a lot that he has working for him in his favor as well. So just why, for right now, he's not above.
We have a very spirited Woodward Sports Chat. It's always fun. We're all part of it. What was that, Ryan?
That's it.
Hey, man.
I knew they were going to get
Come on now.
But that's part of, like, eating on air is, like, actually eating on air.
Yeah, that's true.
In that case, I would just
talking and eating on air might be two different things, but I hear what you're saying.
It's good, though.
It is good. It's very good. In our spirited Woodward Sports Chat, we had one of our friends, because we're all friends here, one of our friends say, you get a 3 o'clock start time, that means you don't have a real payroll and not a serious MLB owner.
Oh, that's such a Neil comment.
How does that make sense to anybody?
I haven't seen. I don't even know who said it. My phone's over there, but that's such a Neil comment.
I can't for the life of me figure out how you come to that deduction. How is that the conclusion? That you don't have a real MLB owner, you don't have a payroll. Their payroll is 14th, just so we're clear. Okay.
I thought we were Moneyball. I thought we were like bottom 5.
That's right. I thought we were bottom 5. I thought it was Billy Beane. I thought he was getting really pissed, at some of his scouts. And just walking through and telling David Justice, no, this is how much I think of you. The Yankees are paying half your salary. Can we just agree I'm trying to get the last ounce of baseball out of you? Who thinks there's an association with what time? I don't care if you're number 1 in payroll. The Yankees are going to play later in the day. It really doesn't matter. We are real. It's not like I don't think they should spend money.
What if they don't blow the start? Like, what if the Detroit Tigers, they finished in first place and won the AL? Are they now, because they won the AL, are they now the night game? Are they now the feature spot because they held all year and then they end up winning? Or is it because, or do they go to the third spot?
Well, can we all agree on this? If you're playing out west in Los Angeles for the Dodgers,
they get the late night spot.
So that's not even a question.
So it would be the third spot.
So now really what you're doing, based on this conversation that he's having, is you're looking at 3 spots. Okay? You're looking at the 3 o'clock time frame, which is all dictated, by the way, by the networks. You're looking at a 3 o'clock start, a 5 o'clock start, and a 7:30 start. when you have the number one media market and the number one team in terms of, recognition, you're going to put them in the prime time spot. Am I wrong there? It's not like I want them to. I'm just saying, if you're a TV executive, what are you doing? That's what you're doing, right? You've got the number one team in the American League playing in the number one media market in the United States, and you're going to put them at 3 o'clock?
Yep.
You would be fired from your executive job. So that leaves 2 time spots, the 3 o'clock and the 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock is really 4 o'clock Central Time. They've got the Cubs. Okay? So you're looking at a situation now because Milwaukee has a lower payroll than the Tigers, a lower payroll, and they're playing in the 5 o'clock. So you tell me how that makes sense. 3 up, 3 down for Seattle. We move to the bottom of the first. A good job by Casey Mize to get Julio Rodriguez on a fly ball to shallow left. Tell me how it makes sense, somebody, please.
If anything,
I need some experience. I need some explanation.
If anything, the 3 o'clock start benefits us more than it does the Mariners. I mean, I still think the Mariners have probably adjusted to the time zone a little bit now, especially this is their second day or third day. But if anything, it benefits us playing the 3 o'clock spot than it does the Mariners, so we should be happy, if anything. But again, we are not going to, not outbid, but we're not going to take over the Yankees' primetime spot. That is going to be given to the Yankees no matter what. If it's the networks, like you mentioned.
We don't deserve that.
Exactly, and we're such
whether the owner spends money or not, you're not going to do that. You've got the number one team in the American League, the Toronto Blue Jays, playing in the number one media market, the New York Yankees. Yeah. How in the world do you think that has anything to do with MLB owners and how much they spend money?
It doesn't.
It has nothing to do with it.
It has the whole fact that we are not the New York Yankees.
One of the worst takes we've seen. One of the worst takes in our group chat.
I think we should set up. I think that we should set up a sparring match between you and that said individual who made that comment. I would pay great money to see that. And everybody out there, you know who that person is. He sits
right there.
I pay money to see it.
He can come in and watch the show, watch the game with us if he would like. As we move to the bottom of the first, it just to me, we can take our proverbial shots at Chris Ilitch, and he deserves them. Okay, yeah. We can take our shots at the history of this franchise and where they rank financially. Okay, they deserve it. Yeah. They rank 14th in payroll. My question to anybody who has this conversation is, what do you think is the right number? That's all I ask. Yeah. You've got to have a number in mind. So mine is 160. Realistically, it's 160, okay, for this team and this market and how many people come through the turnstiles, all right? That's what I believe. It was 157 this year, okay?
And we didn't even use 15 million of it.
Well, you're right about that. Right? So if you are under the delusion that they're going to spend like the Dodgers, they're going to spend like the Mets, they're going to spend like the Phillies, or the Yankees, the Cubs, the Padres, you are absolutely wrong. And if that's your theory, if you believe, well, you've got to spend money in order for you to get a better time slot, then it shouldn't be a surprise to you when Toronto, who ranks 7th, and the Yankees, who rank 4th, have the top spot.
Yeah.
I think it's logic, but maybe sometimes we lose logic right out the window. I'm going to say this real quick. I don't know how long Bryce Miller is going to go for Seattle. I don't anticipate him going. He might go through the lineup once. I mean, if I am Dan Wilson, I am ready with the long hook to pull him out after he goes through the lineup one time. Maybe that's 3 innings, who knows. They are going to do everything they can to try and win this game, and rightfully so. Yeah. In his career, 2-0 with a .58 ERA. That doesn't mean a whole lot to me because it's all about innings pitched and so on and so forth. Tigers, I think, got to score early. It's not revolutionary. I'm not a trailblazer, 100%. But they've got to score early in this game.
Tigers get some energy. You know, to score early is to get early energy. You get some energy, you start to get that thing moving around that dugout, you get it moving around the infield. Energy is real. It's very contagious. You score first, you get that energy up, you feel confident. When you feel confident, you play better. You feel a little bit more relaxed. When you're not in that comfort zone, like now you're still pressing, now you're still thinking a little bit. So when you get into it early, just like in games, like If you'll notice, certain teams like to get certain players involved in games early. You'll see the Lions try to get J-Mo involved because it keeps him involved in the game. Like I remember when I was playing, one of the good things about Rob Chazinski, at least his first year in Cleveland 07, he would lock you in early. Cool, let's get Braylon fed. Let's get him in the end zone, first quarter. You know what I'm saying? Maybe early into the second quarter. Now I'm locked and loaded. Now you got your offense rocking and rolling. It just makes it a lot more easy. But the energy is real.
You could feel whether the energy is there or not last night.
Yeah,
and you as an athlete feel the energy too.
Yeah.
Now I'm a big believer. Correct me if you think I'm wrong here. The energy you can feel at the beginning of the game, but once the game settles in, it's almost like the Ryder Cup. Once your tee shot is off, and people are like, "Woo, way to go! All right." Eventually, you got to play golf.
Well,
you eventually got to play baseball.
True.
The emotion settles in, right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But still, you still feed off of it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times you feed off of it.
Yeah, in big moments,
Yeah.
you can absolutely feed off it. All right, quick timeout. When we come back, Braylon's top 10 teams. We do this once a week on the Braylon Edwards Show. But first, this from BlackRock and Lady
I'll give you a spoiler alert.
Okay.
Okay. The one team you care about, yes, they are the number one team in the NFL. Everybody said that. No need to worry. It's not an Amon-Ra situation. Your Detroit Lions will be at the top of that list. Now, 2 through 10 will get interesting, like BlackRock Bar and Grill. $19.99 the steak and lobster. This is a combo that you don't want to miss out on. It's a limited time only. So you got to get inside BlackRock. And in fact, make sure you get inside BlackRock Monday night. Well, they'll be closed after the game's over, but you be sure to come for lunch on Tuesday, because when the Lions win, you win. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. When the Lions win, you win. You go and you get yourself a free appetizer. If you don't want that appetizer, someone else on your team will take it. Maybe you get that Braylon's beef, 20-ounce New York strip. Once again, limited time only. With all the locations at BlackRock, this deal goes for all of them. Walk up, pull in, and let them sizzle you.
Speaking of locations, Lady Jean's Haircuts for Men has 28 throughout the state of Michigan. More than any place in the country. But they've got places all over the country because people understand that it's great value and valuable for your time. You come in, you sign in, you get a haircut, and you're out the door. It's that simple, man. Your time is way too valuable, and they understand it. Lady Jean's Haircuts for Men. It is wicked awesome.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10, 5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Lamar looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every scoop will start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports.
How many times do referees miss things? Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning never misses anything at your house. I can promise you that, man. I mean, this is true. 40 years of commitment to the community, 40 years of doing things right, 40 years of taking care of their customers. Their customers are #1, and that is no lie. Right now, if you're a DTE gas customer, you get a free, yes, I said free, furnace tune-up through December 1st. They can take care of your heating, cooling, indoor air quality, water heaters, whole home generators. They will take care of business. We're through one, and it is scoreless between the Tigers and the Mariners. They're getting down to business downtown. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning gets down to business every time the clock strikes. 734-238-3839. That's their phone number, 734-238-3839. Or scan the QR code and tell Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning that the Braylon Edwards Show sent you. And,
yes, I know.
Gosh darn it, I thought we were going to go, and we're back.
Yes, I know the Tigers are playing. They're a very stress-filled watch. But if you need to relax a little bit, upgrade your relaxation game, you head over to Massage Chair House right now. They'll get you right, especially if you're watching the Tigers game. But they're located in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doc creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan that QR code above my head. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation, especially during Tigers games.
And now
we're back. Tigers and Mariners are through one. We'll keep you updated on thing 1, 2, 3 for each. Casey Mize looked really strong in the first. Let's settle in. It'll be interesting to see how long A.J. Hinch goes with Casey Mize, who had, 14 wins during the season, and says these are the moments as a kid you dream about. So Jorge Polanco leads things off, top of the second. Mize on the bump and a first pitch strike. Before we get to Braylon's top 10 teams in the National Football League, we do this every week on the Braylon Edwards Show. Kool-Aid, let's get some super chats out there. Make sure you smash that like button. Give us a like if you can. We appreciate it. And let's get to some people in the chat and see what they may be saying here today about the conversations we've had so far.
Hey,
Fire away.
Before we do that, Kool-Aid, are you gonna trade with your boy or not, man? I'm trying to get this roster together, man. Trade with your boy, man.
I would definitely
Got
check
a good
out
deal
those
out there
trades.
for
And
you,
I gotta think about, because I did have Tyreek Hill on my fantasy squad, so I'm in need of some wide receivers. But my running backs, there's some dogs, man.
Well, this is an inside show right now between two fantasy football owners. Braylon, I believe, is leading his league. I don't know why he's whining about needing another wide receiver.
See, I was, and then last 2 weeks happened, and now I went from 3-0 to 3-2.
Uh-oh.
But I'm still in 4th place, and I still can make great moves, great strides. Kool-Aid, on the other hand, is sitting at 1-4.
Oof.
Help a brother out.
He's really exposing you like that, Kool-Aid.
Wait a minute, you think Kool-Aid should just give up on the season, is basically what you're saying.
First of all, I offered him a running back and Devontae Smith. Okay, you need a wide out, I offered you Devontae Smith. Last couple weeks, he's been 19. He was 16 last week. Then now they're trying to pass the ball. He's the one receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles that will get the ball passed to him. I try to give you him and a running back and some cash.
There are certain things that the emotion really comes out in Braylon Edwards' voice. Fantasy football is definitely one of them.
I suck at fantasy football, but I'm just trying to act like I'm good. You know, this is me acting like I'm a GM.
I got 2 wins. I am 2
All right, good for you. Josh Naylor with a 1-out double off Casey Mize into the right field corner. I was worried about this. I said this earlier this morning on my radio show. I worried about Josh Naylor and Cal Raleigh against Casey Mize. Naylor hitless in the series so far, and he hits it down the right field line into the corner. It's a 1-out double. All right, let's see how long Casey Mize can get this. First pitch strike's really important for Casey Mize. Go ahead with the in the chat conversation, please, Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I see
Unless
Michael
it's
Wary.
more about your fantasy football team.
I see Michael Wary. Shout out to our vet in the chat, number 2 crown today with the $5 super chat. He says, what do you guys think about the moves the Lions made today? I don't know if you guys saw some of the moves that they did, some practice squad.
Oh, practice
stuff.
squad.
Yeah.
It doesn't move my needle, Michael. We said this yesterday. They had 3 healthy bodies at cornerback. It's not that we think they're bad, with Maddox and Robertson, Yassin. I worry about it's such a position of depth need, if there's such a phrase. I think they need to go out and trade for one. That's just my opinion. I don't think it would take a lot to get certain players here that you would feel more comfortable covering wideouts. So I would like to see them make a move. And that's not a knee-jerk reaction. That is not an overreaction. I think that's a logical reaction. What do you think?
I think it's a logical reaction in terms of going out and get more players and add something to it, to the caveat of the DB position. Yeah, there's moves that you can make. I got traded during the season, and I look at that. There's trades to be made. I think I was traded for a 4th-round pick, and I went to the Jets on that was my 6th year, and they picked up my option the next year. But you can make a move. Just look at the roster, see what's going on, see where you can have a guy come in, see what you'd be willing to give up. If that's a 5th-round pick, a 6th-round pick, a nothing, a player for player, there's moves to be made. It's just the way the NFL. That's the good news with the NFL. Up until once you get to that deadline, options off the table.
Love the moxie of Casey Mize. He gives up the one-on double, and then he strikes out Eugenio Suarez. So this is a guy, remember this, we all wanted, I shouldn't say we all, most of us, KG and I were talking about this before the game, before the show, most of us wanted a power right-handed bat at the trade deadline. And the name was Eugenio Suarez as Seattle comes through. Now, just as I give Casey Mize, right, some kudos for buckling down, in comes Canzone, and boom, Dominic Canzone delivers an RBI single to right. Seattle has
he got hit in the last 3 games. Each of the last 3 games.
Nice. I like that. Suarez, since the acquisition, going to Seattle, we thought this is a guy, power hitter. You and I were talking about it earlier. And, yeah, for the season, I think he's been pretty good. But the second half of the season, 196. That's all he's hit with a slug of 460. So I think sometimes we get a little over our skis when it comes to that. His on-base percentage is under 27%. I just want to call myself out here because I'm one of those guys who thought that would have been worth the acquisition. Had he come here and performed like that, I think a lot of us would have said, that was a bad move. Okay. Sure. Now that includes, by the way, that's not all of him with Seattle. That's the second half of the season. He was trending downward, is my point. And since he's gone to Seattle, he's batted 189. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, but Darren goes back to that point about having players that you can trust. Like he can play that bad and then figure it out in the playoffs, which it seems like he's doing because you have Cal Riley, who before the season wasn't necessarily what he is now, but you have a Julio Rodriguez, then you have a Cal Riley come on strong, you have Randy Arozarena, so you can have a guy play like that and it not necessarily affect you. And then, oh, by the way, when he chooses to wake up, now this is why they brought him in the first place.
Lengthens your lineup without question as Victor Robles stands in 1 for 8 in the series, and the Tigers down 1-0. All right, let's get to your top 10 teams in the National Football League. We do it every week on the Braylon Edwards Show. Sometimes he's going to throw a curveball in there. 2 weeks ago, I apologize, 2 weeks ago, he said, literally, Baltimore, he didn't say done, but he said Baltimore, they weren't ranked as highly as I thought they should be. And he said, I'm telling you, they're cooked. That was his words. They're cooked. So let's see where you have your rankings first in the NFC, AFC, and then overall.
Okay, we'll start with the NFC. We'll have some fun. We won't take too long to do this thing. Bang! Shout out to the graphic that was put together by my guy.
I got you,
Kool-Aid. Always comes through. Every time I hit him up and say, hey, this is what we want. A lot of times he'll have graphics ready before he even knows this is what I want to do. Shout out to my right hand. Here we go. Top 5 teams in the NFC is pretty easy. We've been talking about it. Team 1, bingo, bango, bongo. We're going to go with the Detroit Lions. They deserve that. They're in that space. Crazy that Green Bay is nowhere near on this list after the conversation we had. But you know what?
That's true.
We're Braylon's right. We're Braylon's wrong. Guess what? We were wrong about that, but here we are. 1, Jared Goff. 2, we're going to go with the Buccaneers. Something about Baker Mayfield. He can find that win at the end. He deserves to. Over the last 3 years, he's played outstanding. Lights out, great for his comeback story. Number 3, this definitely isn't quarterbacks. This must be teams. The Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles. They lost last week. It happens. You're not going to go through a team. You're not going to go through a season undefeated unless you're one of 2 teams and one didn't win the Super Bowl. I think where the Eagles are, they're fine. This is where they should be. They'll figure it out. It's early in the season. They kind of bumped around a little bit last year, too, before they finally figured it out. So 3 is good enough for them.
Is 4 San Francisco or the Rams? Which is inverted? The teams.
Oh yeah,
or
we got
the
the update on the way.
It was an update.
With Rams at 4 and then
Rams at 4, Niners at 5. Okay,
100%.
All right.
Appreciate that. So the Rams are at 4, and even though the Rams lost to the 49ers, I still don't trust the 49ers. Now that can be on me. That's why it says Braylon's top 5 NFC teams. I still like the Rams. I think they will figure it out. I think they are a better team than the San Francisco 49ers. So flip them. And then with the 49ers, they're a surprise. Like what they're doing right now with Mac Jones, doing with that team, missing some defensive players, it looks like something out there. It looks like Mac Jones has found a wide receiver that he's familiar with, and Kendrick Bourne too. So that looked good for them last week. So give them 5. Let's go to the AFC.
Where are the Cowboys?
Cowboys are 6 for me. Like Cowboys are 6.
So credit to Braylon.
Yeah.
Because not a big and by the way, we're through 1.5. Casey Mize with a couple of strikeouts went high cheese to get J.P. Crawford at 97 with runners at first and second, 1-0 Seattle.
Yeah.
Kudos to you because you don't like Brian Schottenheimer.
No.
You don't like Dak Prescott.
No.
They're playing without CeeDee Lamb.
Facts.
And you've got him at 6. So give you credit because
Appreciate
you're
that.
looking at every single week.
Yeah.
You're trying not to hold a bias.
100%.
We all have biases, by the way.
I like what I see out of them, too. And also, too, I think this is going to be one of the things, dare I say, he's currently appealing a $250,000 fine for flicking off the crowd in Dallas. This could be an interesting situation.
Jerry Jones said he meant to do a thumbs up.
Yeah, 100%. Thumbs up on the middle finger. Sometimes you got to set
Do
the
these
crowd
people
straight.
think we're stupid? Seriously. I mean, come
What-
on.
well-
Nobody does this and flips the finger and says, sorry, I got him mixed up. Come on, old man.
Well, billionaires that get away with a lot, like they're gonna keep pressing the issue until somebody holds them accountable. So this is the line. This is the NFL trying to hold him accountable. This situation with Dak going to Green Bay, maybe being a little bit more injured, like Ryan was saying, I definitely think there's something to that. The Dallas Cowboys, Micah Parsons, excuse me, Dallas defense being, for lack of a better word, better in some aspects. They shored up that interior a little bit. Some of the players that they brought in for Green Bay. What if we're looking at a season where Dallas finishes, throw something crazy out there, let's just say they win.
Yeah, let's say they finish with 11 wins.
Let's say they win the division.
Okay.
Oh, they win the division. They play a better defense. They got rid of Micah Parsons. This whole deal. Meanwhile, Green Bay falls apart. Micah Parsons may be injured a little bit more. Now it's like, holy shoot. Maybe Jerry Jones, maybe he's not so senile.
You think that lets him off the hook, is what you're saying? Okay.
Yes. If there's more to what Micah is, yes. If Green Bay just falls off, if Green Bay falls apart, no.
Okay.
Because Micah's still Micah. If Micah is hurt, then yes, he wins the deal. All right, let's cook.
Dallas has got, by the way, they've got Carolina next. So
look at the rest of that schedule. It's favorable.
Yeah, that's a team that's 2-2-1. You can see, yes, I said 2-2. You can see them playing halfway decent for sure the rest of the way. I don't know if that means winning the division. They're not as good as Philly.
True, but
here's my question: are they as good as Washington?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now,
that's
yes.
a quick answer. Okay.
Yeah, right now, yes. What I've seen, like Washington, there's no such thing as a lucky win, but that win from Washington looked okay. It looked okay. But Jaden Daniels, you can see that he's starting to get comfortable with his health.
And the reason I bring up Dallas with
the
you,
running back situation is a problem for them.
The reason I bring up Dallas with you is because I wanted to see if you were going to say Washington ahead of them. You did not. And Washington is ahead of them in the standings at 3-2. Yeah. And that's your NFC team.
What works for the Cowboys, Cowboys got that push.
That's right, the tie.
They have that tie. So loss from the Commanders, win from their head.
Yeah.
Just that quick.
AFC. Surprising tie. How about the AFC?
AFC is where it gets interesting, baby.
This is interesting.
AFC is where it
Let's
gets
go.
interesting. I went dirty. I went tricky. Here we go. Josh Allen, even though they lost last week, tell me a team better than them. Outside of Detroit Lions, don't worry. I will wait. Josh Allen is Josh Allen.
I'll wait till the sun.
I like that.
Sorry.
Josh Allen is
Van
Josh
Halen.
Allen. Buffalo needs to worry, though. Because if the offensive coordinator is not gonna get James Cook involved, who's one of the best running backs in the NFL, if he's gonna try to make Josh Allen beat you with the pass, and you don't have a number one wide receiver, but you got great tight ends or really good tight ends, you could fall into some trouble, especially with the defense playing the way that they're playing. You remember what they gave up against the Saints, so they're number one, but they're not a dominant number one. They're like number one.
Don't disagree with you. That's why I
100%.
can't wait to see where you have them ranked in your top 10 overall.
I like that.
That's a professional tease.
You know what? You got me with that because I blew mine, but it's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. The Colts go 2.
Okay.
I believe what I'm seeing out of Shane Steichen. I believe what I'm seeing out of that defense and their offense. They're a team that is coming together. And when you got a guy like Jonathan, when you got a guy in the backfield like Jonathan, like you can do a lot of things with a Jonathan Taylor. Number 3, I don't know how. But I refuse to go against the grain. Why not? I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence, but maybe as a defense, I believe in that defense. I believe what Liam Cohen is trying to do. Don't necessarily know if I like him yet, but I believe in what he's trying to do offensively and where his mind is at.
I know I don't like him, but okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
that's fair. Yeah, same. But I like where they're at. They got an ugly win. I've never seen a quarterback fall 4 times, still score a game-winning touchdown. It was pretty amazing sight to behold. But you know what? Okay. Sure. Let's go with them there.
Good for you.
Yeah, 100%, because it will change, clearly. Bo Nix, I was struggling with this. I don't know where I feel about Bo and the Broncos. But for right now, I'm reserved judgment. I don't know if their defense is as good as I thought it, and I don't know if their offense is as good as I thought it. But I think they're a team that I like it for, but they have the ability to impress me. I think I'm open for them being better and moving up. I'm also open for them falling apart.
Okay.
I like Drake May.
I do too.
I like Drake May.
I know.
That boy can play some ball. He can play some football,
There's
man.
something about him that is you believe.
Remember we were talking about the leader aspect? When you can just see it, and he just oozes it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And a quiet guy, too. Not necessarily, man. He is a player. And then Mike Vrabel. You knew what he was going to do on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
The defensive side of the ball is playing well. They're flying around a little bit.
coach.
It's starting to feel familiar.
Yep.
Why? Because Mike Vrabel knows all about what it means to fly around as a New England Patriot.
I'm mad at myself.
Yeah.
Now that I see yours, I'm mad at myself. Because I took Buffalo. I took Indy.
Yeah.
I had the Broncos at 3. Like an idiot, I took the Chargers and Steelers. Okay?
Chargers offensive line is a real problem.
It's a real problem when you lose 2 of them. I'm not mad about the Jacksonville. I don't know what it takes to convince us. So I'm not convinced. I'm not saying I'm right.
Yeah.
You're right. At 4-1, how dare I? If my favorite team was 4-1,
But we're similar. No, we're similar
close
because
enough. I'm
Pittsburgh's 3-1, and I don't believe in them.
Yeah, I get it. But I should have had New England in there. I don't know why I put the damn Chargers in there.
Reason
I'm
why
mad at myself.
Reason why Pittsburgh is not in here for me, I mean, it's very simple. It's not rocket science. I'm more so waiting for them to fall apart versus waiting for this to consistently get better.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I'm at.
That's how I feel about Jacksonville. That's well put.
And I have to watch Pittsburgh because DK Metcalf and Kenneth Gainwell are on my fantasy team. And when I tell you when I watch, no, I'm being honest though. But fantasy will make you watch games, and then when you watch
you're
them,
right.
you
You're
start
not
to
lying.
understand who a team is.
He's
Not
right.
lying.
He's
So
dead
now I gotta
on.
watch
Yeah.
the Steelers. I'm like, man, this ain't it.
All right, I'm going to give you guys 3 teams, and I want you to know if you're buying or selling, and you would have to have this 2 up, 2 down for the Tigers in the second. You would have to have this the rest of the year.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to give you 3 teams. Kool-Aid, you ready?
Yes,
Get out of your backpack. Get ready. Here we go. Indianapolis, Jacksonville, San Francisco.
I have to buy 2?
No,
You have to put them in order.
Oh.
All right.
Who you're going to buy for the rest of the season. Indianapolis. Sorry, Braylon.
Yep.
Indianapolis, Jacksonville, San Francisco. Hell, I'll throw Pittsburgh in there as a 4. Rank them 1 through 4 for me. First Tigers hit of the day comes from Zach McKinstry, who was batting 53 on the year with 2 outs. Go ahead.
That's easy. I'm buying the 49ers. I got them at, I'm buying the Colts.
Yeah.
They're number 1. They're number 1. It's not even close. Like, the Colts legitimately might sneak into the playoff as a number 2 seed, maybe even number 1 the way it looks right now.
Hell, they may win their division. You're right.
100%. So, yes, I'm buying them for sure. 49ers, I'm buying as well. I'm buying because what if Mac Jones would have been drafted by the San Francisco 49ers? Like, now I'm starting to play these games in my head. Kyle Shanahan, he's always been the guy. We give the credit to Kevin O'Connell. Yes, Kevin O'Connell is the new quarterback whisperer. You've seen it happen for him. Kay Shanahan's the OG.
Dude, what did you say earlier?
Kyle Shanahan's the OG. Like, Mac Jones is playing. He didn't play this well at Alabama.
But Braylon, you said it earlier to back
like,
yours
what?
up.
And he had weapons.
What did you say? You said about the quarterbacks. The reason you had them, or wide receivers, the reason you had them is because of who's throwing the football, right?
Yeah.
You're saying the same thing with quarterbacks. Look, the head coach or the quarterback whisperer is making a difference here.
1,000%. Kyle Shanahan's making a difference, and then you got guys out there making plays. You got guys that are not. They're tired of hearing, and then also the leader aspect by. Christian McCaffrey is giving you everything he has. And when you play with a guy like that, when you're on a team with a guy who legitimately is, put him out here to catch passes, put him over to catch passes, put him in the backfield, put him at decoy, put him at direct snap. Every time he gets hit, everyone in San Fran is cringing. Because they know that he's the end-all, be-all for them, and he's still delivering. I buy the 49ers because I buy the head coach.
Could you make the argument, now that he's healthy again, that he's the best back in football?
Until I see it happen between the tackles, no.
Okay.
Because right now, and that's probably because the offensive line is kind of patchworky right now.
Who is?
But
because you and I were just talking about Jonathan Taylor. Bless you.
Jonathan Taylor is better than Christian McCaffrey between tackles right now.
Okay. Best running backs, if you were to rank them. Bijan Robinson's in there.
Yeah.
Jameer Gibbs is in there.
Are we talking about before
Barkley.
the season? Or are we talking about like right now?
Right now. It's a curveball, everybody. By the way,
like nobody's
fly
really,
ball to center by Dylan Dingler.
Like nobody's really killing it at the running back position right now. Like Jameer Gibbs is.
Don't overthink it. I want Braylon Edwards as an 8-year NFL player and a Pro Bowler to tell me who the best 5 running backs in the NFL are right now.
Jonathan Taylor.
Wow.
Bijan Robinson.
Christian McCaffrey's got to be in there.
Christian McCaffrey.
Jameer Gibbs.
Jameer Kyron.
Okay.
Kyron's got to stop. He's got to stop effing fumbling, but yes.
Okay, guys, Ryan, before we hit a break, Ryan, Kool-Aid, 1-4.
Sell the Jags.
The teams.
And sell the Steelers.
Tell me the teams you guys would rank in. Are you believing in?
Niners 1. I'm going to take the Jags 2.
Ooh.
Colts 3.
And
no, I said the Steelers were my sneaky playoff team too.
Well, they're 4.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid?
Yeah, oh my goodness. I'm going to actually go Colts 1.
Okay.
For whatever weird reason, Steelers 2.
Wow.
Niners 3.
I like the Steelers,
okay.
Kool-Aid.
So then the Jags.
Then the
Jags
Jags
4. Okay.
And
it's good.
For whatever reason, I like what the Jags look like.
Just something that popped into my mind. That's all. Something that popped into my mouth. This Buddy's Pizza right here. Okay? Really good.
Great.
Also,
good job, Brian.
Also with Philly, this is also with Philly. When you look at them, I know they're on the other screen. When you look at Philly and you talk about what's going on, they're still blah, blah, blah. Every year they change the offensive coordinator, and it starts them over. It resets the continuity that they've built. They reset the offensive coordinator after the first Super Bowl, who we're just talking about, Shane Steichen, and it looked abominable for the Philadelphia Eagles in 22. It looked like it was a horrible season. They snuck into the playoffs, injuries, whatever you have. It just did not look good offensively. Then you bring in Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore leaves Dallas. He comes there. It looks amazing again. And here you go. You're rocking and rolling. Saquon goes for 2K. Everybody's happy. You win the Super Bowl. Bob's your uncle. And now you go out and have to get rid of Kellen Moore because he leaves. He takes a job with the Saints. Now you got another offensive coordinator. Like, do you remember the very first conversation that Shane Steichen had about Jalen Hurts? This is very pivotal for Eagles fans.
Yeah.
We met him where he was.
Yeah.
We met him where it was.
Coached to his strengths.
100%. All the conversations about what he's not, we didn't care about that. What is he? Let's work from there.
That's beautiful
That's
stuff.
what the offensive coordinator needs to do right now with these Eagles. Who is Jalen Hurts? Who does he want to be? Where is he comfortable? Mm-hmm. You paid him $230 million. He won you Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. You got to work better with him because like that,
you're right about that.
You keep changing it every year. So at least if you're going to change it, bring somebody in that the start is easier, that the process is easier, because the Eagles feel very similar to what they did in 2022.
I love that. I mean,
they were 5-1.
It messed up my transition to the Buddies read, but it was a beautiful soliloquy. No, that's okay. I love it. I'd rather listen to that for sure. But if I'm going to eat, I'd rather eat Buddies. And Buddies brought us some wonderful pizza today. Shout out Yes, Kool-Aid. Shout out to the
Shout
folks
out.
at 12 and a half and Woodward and Katie, their manager, for hooking us up with the battle for the houses. You got the Wolverine, you got the State Square, and then we've also got your traditional buddies, where they've been doing it for 79 years, better than anybody in the state, anybody in the Midwest. When people come here from out of town, Chicago, New York, whatever, they want a Detroit-style pizza. You know where they go? You know where we send them? We send them to Buddies. You should too, buddiespizza.com.
And let me tell the people about Wicked Pickle. Make sure you go ahead and scan that QR code of them ahead and get a jump on things.
Get the jump.
Yeah, get a jump. Look, if you're looking for the ultimate pickleball experience, it is Wicked. It is Wicked Pickle. It's Metro Detroit's hottest indoor pickleball spot. They got 10 climate-controlled courts. This one's for Ryan and I. They have daily open play for all levels and a chill lounge with TVs, ping pong, and cold drinks. It's always game on, rain or shine. If you're throwing a party or a team event, they do host groups from 10 to 200 people. And remember that QR code that I told you to scan? You don't want to miss out on the APA Michigan Gold Cup. November 22nd through the 23rd. Sign up at pickleballtournaments.com and mark your calendars for the Woodward Sports Pickleball Party, January 9th. And we have more details coming soon, so make sure that you guys stay tapped in.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or bust Lions network.
Caesars Sportsbook, official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. I believe the Tigers were actually the betting favorite for today's game. And if you're a first-time user to Caesars Sportsbook, make sure you scan that QR code above my head and use code Woodward1000. You get your deposit back up to $1,000, minimum of $20. Use code Woodward1000 or scan that QR code. Caesars Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Hey, bring that conversation back here. Look, before we went to break, and I was talking about what's going on in Philly, Shep. I was talking about how they go to the Super Bowl, and then they replace Shane Steichen. Does not work out. They have an abominable season offensively. They make it to the playoffs. They don't win the division. Guess what happens in the playoffs? They lose. Shocker. They go home. Insert Kellen Moore leaves the Dallas Cowboys. Now you get this thing rocking and rolling. Now it looks like something. Now Saquon, you bring him over from the Giants. Don't understand how the Cohen family let that happen. Not the Cohen family, but Shane. Joe Shane.
Yeah,
okay,
from the
there
Giants.
you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, you bring Saquon over 2,000 yards. You win the Super Bowl. Now Kellen Moore is gone. Now it looks abominable yet again. What did the Eagles do? They go out and get a coordinator. Where's this coordinator from? Where's the connection? Where's the template? Does he understand who Jalen Hurts really is? Does he understand what Jalen Hurts really wants to be? Doesn't seem that way so far. And now you see a Philadelphia Eagles team that's 4-1, but they look more like a team that's 2-3. Aren't you happy, Detroit, that you hired Johnny Morton? Excuse me. Aren't you happy that Dan Campbell hired Johnny Morton? An individual that was here, an individual that knew this team, an individual that helped put the offense in, some of the nuances, understood what the identity is, so that when he came here, the players still feel comfortable. It's the same offense that they've had success in, with some changes here or there, some different players.
Said it. That's
like
good.
something like this. Kudos to Dan Campbell.
Dude, we've been talking
kudos
about
to Johnny Moe.
Yeah, we've been talking about Kelvin
We can look
Shepard
like the Eagles
for a long time, and rightfully so. John Morton's offense is on pace to become the second highest scoring offense in NFL history. Second highest in NFL history. I mean, we've got a long way to go, but to your point, that's just it. And Casey Mize just struck out Jorge Polanco, still 1-0 Seattle. Mize, by the way, has 6 strikeouts.
And you know what's interesting?
Through 3 innings. He's got 6 strikeouts. He struck out Polanco twice, Julio Rodriguez twice, Cal Raleigh once. That's 5. I forget who the other one is.
Trying to look
Sorry.
like a number 2 today. But you know what's interesting is when this happened early in the season last year with Ben Johnson, after they started to find their stride by week 4, 5, and 6, everyone started calling Ben Johnson a genius. I still don't really hear people giving, Johnny Mo, like they're saying, wow, look at the Lions offense and the players they have.
Yeah.
I thought that those players were going to get stunted because, Dan Campbell apparently has rocks in his brain and Johnny Mo is just his friend.
Thank you. Well said. No, it is. That's really well said. Oh, you're just bringing in your friend.
Yeah.
Find me somebody who has a power position, who doesn't bring in somebody when they're starting a job who they're comfortable with and they trust. Can anybody show? Of course you're going to do that. If I were a football head coach and I wanted someone to coach my receivers, who would I bring in? Somebody I know, somebody I trust, and then I roll with it that way. Why is this why is this not obvious to everybody regarding Dan Campbell and what he did with John Morton? It's not like he brought in somebody off the couch who's never coached before.
The only thing that last year's offense was better than this year's offense has nothing to do with Johnny Morton, and that was the run game between the tackles. I know every time I come up here and say between tackles, you guys are like, yeah, but what Dave Montgomery did this game, or what about these yards? They're not running the ball particularly well between the tackles. A lot of their stuff is going on the outside, but you know why? That's because there's not Kevin Zeitler at right guard. There's an individual in Tate Rallis that is getting better week by week. But what you don't know as a 13-year starter in this league, a 4 or 5-time Pro Bowler with Kevin Zeitler knew, you're learning. You're figuring out on the fly. There's some things that Kevin Zeitler would be able to recognize before Tate Rallis has with his young eyes. You have to replace your center. Graham Glasgow's doing a hell of a job for you.
Yeah,
he ain't Frank Ragnar.
No.
And I use ain't for effect with all due respect. He's not Frank Ragnar. He's figuring it out. He's getting damn good. You trust him. And then you have a left guard that is not Graham Glasgow, who got comfortable with playing in that role last year. So you're figuring out the offensive line. That's the only thing that they're not doing better this year than they did last year. And it has nothing to do with Johnny Morton. It has to do with personnel.
But it's fun to watch. All right, let's look at your top 10 teams real quick. Then we got to get to the mailbag. Then we're out of here. Again, they're 3-2.5. Seattle leads at 1-0. They're in the bottom of the third. Casey Mize has 6 punch-outs so far. Let's get to your top 10 real quick.
All right, here we go. You'll see the AFC is bottom heavy. Here we go. Is it? No, it's 1, 2. Actually, it's all NFC. It's 2. Here we go. Broncos, we'll put them at 10. I think they could be better. We'll figure it out. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Dallas was not in the top 5 NFC.
Is that Dak?
Yeah.
They were not in the top 5. However, they're in my top 10. I think they're one of the top 10 teams in the league, regardless of what the record says. Dak's playing MVP level ball. Now, he does this in the regular season. We'll see how it transpires. But right now, they're 9. 8 49ers. Sign me up. We believe in them. I believe them second under the Colts, but I do believe in them. I believe in the head man, Kyle Shanahan. You know what? 4-1 the Jaguars. My brother-in-law still head of player development down there. Kudos to Marcus Pollard. See, I didn't say shout out. I said kudos. Number 6, Matt Stafford. That was a sneaky way to sneak shout out in there. Matt Stafford coming in number 6 with the Los Angeles Rams. Would have them higher, but they have lost 2 games. And one game they completely blew in Philly. The other game, 49ers just wanted it more. 49ers just wanted it more. And they had
did.
And they had three fumbles and 5 drops. 5. The Eagles. Like, for everything I said about them, they still are 4-1. They still are reigning defending. You get that type of respect. But guess what? My respect, it knows bounds. It knows bounds. It knows bounds. You better look like something this week, Philly. You better. 4, it's the Colts. We'll see how that plays out. 3 is Baker Mayfield. Now, I know Shep's going to ask me why I said all that about Buffalo and then still put them at 2, because they have the reigning defending MVP. And until it looks like he's not an MVP type quarterback, I'll have them 2 as long as they win. And then number 1 is very obvious. And remember, we said number 1 before this week, where everybody's jumping on the bandwagon now, Pro Football Focus and this place and that place and this site and this site. Woodward Sports Network, specifically Braylon Edwards and Shep Show, we told you before last week, the Lions team was trending towards number 1, and I wouldn't have a problem 2 weeks ago putting them number 1, but I put them at 3. Last week I put them at 1. Over your Eagles, you told me I was crazy, and then they go out there and get popped.
From the chat, Jack Stark, Tigers batters making another pitcher look like an all-star. Again, it'll be interesting to see how far Bryce Miller goes here today. 18 starts during the regular season. Career numbers pretty good against Detroit.
Just hit a home run right now on camera, Kerry.
Okay.
Just hit one.
Let's see if you called it on this 0-1 pitch to Carpenter.
He went
now
golfing.
he's in an 0-2 hole. 2 outs in the Tigers' half of the third. All right, how about the mailbag real quick?
He got out of the sand trap with that one. We got Michael Wary, $2 super chat. So he sends in another one. He says he still says that the Lions are going to win big over the Kansas City Chiefs.
Why is Kansas City favored in that game? Does anybody know? Has it got to be the injuries, do you think?
Because it's a home game, and it's a home game. They lost, and where they're good right now, we're bad. They're good at the what?
Go ahead.
Oh, what we about to say?
Ryan goes, it's the Chiefs.
I think I think he's probably correct because they know the refs are going to help, or at least attempt to help. But
you mean Mahomes just going up to the ref to make sure? Hey, no, that's good. Touchdown.
It's Mahomes at home, and they just came off a loss. So I think more so it's one of those things. You look at their record coming off of a loss, desperation, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. They're going to lose, but.
Yeah, they're going to make a lot of money on
I could see them being ranked number 1. Oh, Mahomes is mad. He's ready. They're going to come back with a fire. They lost that game and blah, blah, blah.
Who's going to cover Travis Kelce? Who cares?
Father time.
We will talk more about it. Kerry Carpenter just struck out, pitch that left the zone, so 3 up and 3 down for Bryce Miller and Seattle. We are through 3. Seattle leads it 1-0. We'll be talking about will there be a Game 5, and we'll talk about Lions and Chiefs, plus Dr. Pierce will be with us tomorrow here on the Braylon Edwards Show.
Thursday Night Football, speaking of those Eagles.
And Thursday Night Football, and Red Wings season opener. All that coming up tomorrow afternoon on Woodward Sports on the Braylon Edwards Show. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Smash that like button.
Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10, 5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Lamar looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.